Assalamualaikum. Today, I will demonstrate to you how we want to export our data from Excel file to the Eview. So today, I'm going to use a time series data. Okay, so in this time series data, we have a quarterly data for several years and we have 4 variables in this data. So how are we going to export this data to Eview? I show you. Okay, first you need to open up your Eview. Okay, then you click File and then you click Import and import from File. Okay, then you choose the file that you want to import. Okay, in this example, I want to import the data from the demo file. So I just choose, okay, this is my file, open. Okay, if in the file we have several sheets, so you need to identify the sheets or the range of your data. When you click the drop down button, the choice will appear and you choose which one is the data or the range do you want to import. Okay, then when you choose, the data will appear in this tab. Okay, next we click next. Okay, the second step, the column header. Okay, they ask us, is the first column is the header? If yes, we just click next. Okay, text representing not available? No. Okay, we just click next. Okay, so since our data have been structured or have been sort based on their time series, which is a years and the quarter. So the function over here is automatically appear as a dated specified by date series. Okay, if we click the drop down button, we have a choice, for example, unstructured, undated, dated regular frequency, dated panel, undated with ID series, and undated panel. So in this case, we are using a dated and specified by the date series because we already specified the data series. Okay, then we just click finish. Yes. Okay. So then this dialog box will appear. So in this dialog box, we will see the range of our data. So we have 180 observations covering from 1952 quarter 1 until 1966 quarter 4. Okay, this is the data that have been imported. Okay, Eview automatically generate the coefficient value and also the residual value. So if you see these options, the GDP, the M1, the PR and the RS is your variable. Year is number of years. Observation is the observation value and this the quarter value. So in this case, if you want to check either you are import correctly or not, so you can choose your variable. For example, in this case, your variable is GDP, okay, M1, PR and RS. Okay, then you right click, choose open as a groups, then this will appear. So you see that the data already started from 1952 quarter 1 until 1966 quarter 4. Okay, so if you confirms your data are correctly imported, so we can save this or we can give a name to this file. Okay, so in this example, you can choose, for example, group 1 data. You click OK. So next time, this data will available. Okay, before I proceed with the regression, so normally we will conduct a descriptive statistic and a correlation. How we want to conduct or how we want to run a descriptive statistic in this Eview. Okay, so we have a few choices. For example, okay, you can choose view button. Okay, you just click the view button, and then descriptive statistic. We have two choice, a common sample and individual sample. What make difference between common sample and individual sample? Common sample will provide result for all variable available in your file, which is individual sample if you want to choose selective sample only. So in this case, I just use a common sample. Okay, so automatically the descriptive result will appear. Since we are using a student version, so you can't save the file. So what you need to do is you freeze. Okay, freeze will save the result in a table form. Okay, then you can copy this table. Okay, you can copy and you can as display, and you can paste it in your Excel file. So this result you will use later in your report. Okay, so next, okay, so before that, I just want to explain what are being reported by the descriptive statistic. So automatically by default, they will report the mean value, the median, the maximum, minimum, standard deviation, skewness, kurtosis, Jagdera probability, and also sum of square division. Okay, and at the bottom here, it's reported the number of observation. Okay, so the second step before we can conduct a regressions. So normally we will run a correlation analysis. So we need to go back to our data. So you just close your table just now. Okay. Before that, if you want to save, because we already freeze the table, and you can name the table as a descriptive statistic table, and then you click OK. Okay, then you just close it. So second step, I want to show you how you want to run a correlation analysis. Okay, so again, don't worry, you go just go back to spreadsheet data. So they will go back to this our data, and then you click view. Then you go to the covariant analysis. So this under this covariant analysis, this tab will appear, and then by default, since the name is covariant analysis, they will tick at the covariance. But we don't want to do a covariant analysis. We just want to check their correlation. So what we're going to do, we untick the covariant. We just click the correlation, the t-statistic, and the probability table. So method, okay, so ordinary method, Spearman or Kendall Tau. So ordinary will use a Pearson method. So in this case, we use ordinary. Okay, so t-stat will give you the t-value to identify which correlation is significant. Layout, meaning we choose a single table, means that all the result will be produced in one table. So sample, for example, if in this case, I want to use all sample, so I just let it be like this. Then you can click OK. Okay, we can see this is our correlation result. Okay, so similar, you can freeze, and then you can copy your results and paste it in our Excel file. Okay, and you can name correlation, close it. Okay, after we have conduct the correlation test, the last step is we want to run the regression. So how do we want to run a regression? Okay, we go back to our data. Okay, so we in this case, if you want to use or to run a regressions, so we will go, or we will use a quick function over here. Okay, you just click quick functions. Okay, basically under quick functions, you can also have the descriptive statistic, the covariant and correlation. But for descriptive statistic, it will produce a same result, but for covariant and correlation, it will give a same result but different table. So my advice, you better go or use the function of view. Okay, now I want to run a regression. So we click again, I repeat, quick, click estimate equation. So this dialog box will appear. So we need to type our equation. So how we going to type our equation? We will start with our dependent variable. So in this case, our dependent variable is GDP. Okay. Then we enter, okay, one space. C is the constant. Okay. Next, followed by the x1. X1 in this case is M1. Okay, space. Then x2 PR, space. And the last one x3 RS. Okay. So you under these columns under this space, we will have a method. So there are another method, but in this case, we are going to use the OLS. So you must make sure it's LS, least square methods. Okay, this is the sample frame. So then if you click options, they will give you another option lah. For example, the covariant method. Okay, in this case, we just ignore it. Okay, we just use what by default setting. Okay, so after this, you click OK, then you will have this regression results. Okay, so in this regression result, they will mention they use method least square, sample data, and observation, and this is your regression result. Again, how you want to save this regression results? You can click freeze. Okay, then you select and copy this result to your Excel. Okay. Okay, so since we have saved the results, so you have different icon over here. Okay, the icon B is for the coefficients. So the icon that appear like a table for showing the results. Okay, so whenever you want to have a look back to your result, you can just click because we already saved it in our work file. Okay, as I mentioned just now, because we are using the student versions, so we are we're not able to save this file. That's why my advice, every time you run a test, for example, a descriptive test, correlations or regressions, you need to copy your result and paste it in the Eview. But if we use the original version, so we can save this work file, and if you want to use it again, you just open up the work file. Okay, so since this is free, so we can't save the work file. So what you're going to do, if you try to save, this message will appear. So what we want to do, we just close it. Okay, no. Okay, so that's all my demonstration for exporting data from Excel to Eview file. Thank you.